Alright guys, in this video we're going to go ahead and unbox and review Star Wars The Black Series Book of Boba Fett, Boba Fett. That's a lot of Boba Fetts. So initially whenever the show was announced, I was pretty hyped about it. You know, Boba Fett was always one of those characters back in the day that I think he only had like 5 lines of dialogue in the entire prequel trilogy. Oh, he's a badass. It's the front of the box, it's the side of the box, the back of the box, and with the little let's see if I can kind of show you what it says back here. Different languages, but it kind of gives a brief little history, I guess, of before he came into the series. So in the box you got his helmet, you got his jetpack, you got his pistol, and you got his rifle. And I have my X-Acto knife, and we're gonna go ahead and unbox this Boba Fett. So I'm not a kid anymore, so I have to be really delicate about unboxing nowadays because I like to keep the boxes. When I was a kid, you know, coming out of the store with a brand new toy, I would not care. I would run to the car and just have at it, like just rip it to pieces. But anyways, let's go ahead and rip him open and see what we got in the box. And so here he is. Little disjointed, but you have his jetpack, you have his rifle, you have his pistol, we got his helmet, which is pretty good detail for sure. Really matte colored finish, which I like for picture's sake. So you got his visor for aiming, swivels up and down, which is awesome. He has a little dent, that's a signature in Boba Fett's helmet. But yeah, good colors, good texture, good finish. And we have his jetpack, which is pretty detailed too. Pretty clean overall with the matte finish. The missile comes off, nice, love that. So then, you know, just stick it back on there with the peg. Then we have his the jetpacks, the thrusters, which swivel, which I did not know that until just now, that they swivel. And you can, that's awesome, all the way 360 degrees on both of them. That's pretty cool. Need to find some fire or something to put in there, but fake fire. Then you have his rifle, which is the, I don't know what it's called, signature rifle. And then you have his pistol that I don't remember him use that in the original, but I know for sure he uses a pistol in the Book of Boba Fett. And let's take a look at the figure. So this is him, Tamara Morrison look-alike. Head swivels 360 degrees. It kind of sways back and forth, which is good. Let's see his arms, his T-post. It's about as high as his arm goes, just straight down, you know. I'm sure you can rotate the arm to go straight up. Why is it not, well, wants to, oh, it's because of, I see it right there. That's what's holding his, okay. Well, there it goes. Hopefully that doesn't rip apart or something like that if you try to get him posing. Other arm does the same thing. Got some detail on there too. His legs, oh, he does a kind of does the splits a little bit, but you know. Forward kick, knees double jointed. All right, yeah, he's doing high knees. All right, same thing with the ankles. That's kind of, ooh, I feel like I'm gonna break that. What? Where's the back of his? Where's his Achilles heel? It's okay. I'm not gonna do too much because I'm not trying to break him. I just open him. So the same thing with his other leg. He does the double jointed. Everything else, I thought this was solid. I'm so glad that it's not like, I think with one of the other figures, that lapel that he has, or whatever that is, a sash, is kind of like, I thought it was embedded into the pant leg. And I was like, man, that's kind of lame, that's kind of ugly. So I'm so glad that it's not. At the arms, nice paint job for sure. I got some scuffs for sure, which I like. I like that it's you know, it looks too clean, but it is what it is. Whenever he first showed up in his armor, he looked clean AF. So Boba Fett, the color of the Boba Fett's was always really, you know, awesome. Let's check out the head sculpt. So he has a little bit of scarring. You can kind of tell if my camera would focus properly. Kind of have some scarring around his face like he does in the show. So yeah, man, I mean, I'm not going to be getting up close and personal, like, you know, with pictures or anything like that, but for sure this is pretty awesome. No, the Black Series, I feel like, have always been doing some pretty excellent job with, you know, just sculpting, body sculpts and stuff like that. So let's take some more looks at some 360 degrees of him on display. So we kind of have that Boba Fett kind of natural stance from the promo material, and that's such a cool pose too. That's without the light, and with the light, oh yeah, probably needs a little bit of weathering, but that's gonna come with time once I actually start getting these figures, you know, once I get them out to start taking photos of them and everything. So this is a pretty cool pose too. The rifle, that was the only way that I was able to get that rifle on there properly, but still a pretty cool pose without the light. And then let's get the light on and show what it's like with all the lights on them. So the reason I'm doing with the lights, without the lights, so that you can see the shadows and stuff like that. With the lights, so you can see all the like indentions of the material of, you know, his pant legs and stuff like that, and, you know, his chest piece and everything. So got another pose. I like this pose too, it's pretty awesome. So just different ways of posing the figure and different ideas of, for whenever I start going and taking pictures of them and setting them up in, you know, places or whatever, or putting them in dioramas or something like that and doing that. So but this is a pretty cool pose too. So got the rifle and the pistol at the ready. He's ready for anything, so he looks pretty badass in this pose as well. Yeah, without the light, and then with the light. Freaking awesome. Got another one. Oh, he's ready. This kind of reminded me, posing him up like this kind of reminded me of, you know, from The Empire Strikes Back, whenever he's waiting for Han to get transported and stuff like that. Like, he kind of has his arms, he's holding his hands and stuff like that, like, you know, just like a soldier, just calm and everything. But super cool pose too. And then I decided to put him in with the Mandalorian. Both of them just look super rad. The Mandalorian, I love the Mandalorian as a character. I love the little nuances in that show. Pedro Pascal nailed the character. I don't think I agree with how the story wound up, but it should have been more about the Mandalorian and Grogu. So let's go ahead and put them with the helmets on, switch it up just a little bit, and there they are. And without the light posing. And I do wish that I had the Mandalorian. I think it's the newest version of the Mandalorian where he has the soft goods cape. It just looks so badass with the soft goods, so I might end up getting that one, who's to say. But anyways, so that's my unboxing and review of the Boba Fett action figure from the Black Series. And like I said, a solid figure. I've been waiting to find that Boba Fett. I know he was on Amazon for a lot at one point, but I decided to wait, and finally I was able to get him. So I'm pretty excited about it. I'm pretty excited about posing him up with Mando and Grogu and or Ahsoka or something. Just more figures that I can collect, more I can put on my shelf, and more I can take out and go start taking pictures of. So I guess I'll catch you on the next one. Y'all be safe. Y'all stay safe, stay healthy. Deuces.